Yes.
Good job.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order for the Land Use Committee for January 5th, 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. And I'll go ahead and do the roll call. Molly,
Here.
Jacob,
Uh,
and Larry.
Present.
And I'm present, Jim Salio. And I don't have any chairperson announcements. Does any other council member have any announcements?
I think you can say
Not
something.
me. No.
This is Sue Voy. Can you hear me?
We can, Sue.
Oh, great. I can't get a Zoom face, but I'm here.
Okay.
Molly was kind enough to just call me and tell me, so I tried to jump in, and I can't get the picture part working.
Okay. Well, we can hear you just fine.
Sue.
So we're gonna start out with your project. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about it? We have all the information from the county that's on the planning department's website. But if you could kind of just walk us through what your project is.
My project is a 100-foot, 10-foot by 6 inches railroad car that was converted into a bridge. So it has rails on both sides so you can't fall off of it. And it weighs approximately 80,000 pounds. It is, it went over the creek. So what we did is I contacted a bridge builder and had him come, and we tried everything we could to put it on the original easement, but due to overuse of that easement by cell site activity and neighbors and them taking D9s and all kinds of stuff, I could no longer get to my home. And so I went through Fish and Wildlife, sent them my plans. I went through PG&E, had all the environmental stuff looked at, and we found the only place on the front of my property that we could lay this bridge on top of. So we didn't do any grading, and 1/3 of it's on land, 1/3 goes over the creek, 1/3 goes on the other side. It can hold 170,000 pounds, so it is obviously overbuilt, but we had to overbuild it in order to overcome putting headers into the stream bank, because then we would incur all kinds of problems. So this was our way of doing the most environmentally friendly project. And fortunately, I had enough land on the front that it pretty much runs parallel to the existing easement that is right now 30 feet wide and 8 feet deep. So I've had no access to my property 6 months. My neighbors, the Campbells, have a they prescripted when I purchased it in 2006, and they have the ability to use 3 companies to get to their cell towers. But they got the neighbor on top who has 1,500 acres, and he's honestly a billionaire. And unfortunately, they took their huge equipment through and destroyed my easement. And I was unable to repair it, it would cost me well over $1 million. So I have no access. So I went through Fish and Wildlife, and they came out. They did the environmental work. I hired an attorney. We're in the process and litigation with the neighbors, which is very unfortunate. But there was no way to repair during the rains that section of the easement because it's too damaged. And I had to close down my equestrian, fully permitted. My farm is fully permitted. Everything is. I think I'm the only one in the street. And I just want access to my property. PG&E has already requested and asked during these terrible torrential rains we've had in the last few days to go over it. I did allow them. I did talk to code enforcement, Cynthia Alms, and say, I know it's not complete. I mean, it is complete, but I know it hasn't been finalized. All permits have been paid, and all drawings have been submitted, and it's rock solid. It's a little bit overbuilt, but no trees, no animals, no water. And so Fish and Wildlife believes that since it doesn't impact the stream, it doesn't alter the stream, which, by the way, is a federal stream as well as a state stream, and that no action financially is needed. And they said that it met everything and that it's essentially an emergency bridge when the regular easement floods out. Does anybody?
So my question, Sue, is that is the bridge currently there now?
Yes, sir.
So the bridge was put in, and now you have to go back and get a permit to have the bridge. Is that correct?
I got an as-built. The county wanted me to get an as-built. I got permission from Fish and Wildlife, of course, first, and then the county said, come down and pay the fees, which were quite a bit, and that they are processing it as an as-built project.
I don't have any questions. I don't know if other people do.
I just want to use my property, guys. And I've worked with PG&E. We've come up with, in 2015, I attempted to get PG&E and the neighbors and everybody to put it on the proper easement so they could all join in and use it. And they just did not want to contribute. They felt that they had a right to go through this stream. And the problem is you cannot take machinery of that size. And unfortunately, if I were there, I could show you videos and photographs of what was done. And it's $1 million worth of damage to my property. So I had no recourse. And the county kept saying all these things, but the bottom line is the county has declared that the easement is an all-weather road and issued 156 permits on my property to the cell companies to continue to upgrade. And the problem being is the court order, when they got it, said it's limited Because yes, you can drive through a blue line creek when it's dry, but when it's wet, you just can't take a motor vehicle and smooth it out in the middle because all the soil then goes into the ocean. So I never did that. I don't own that kind of equipment. But at the beginning, 20 some odd years ago, we just lived with it and it was fine. And now it's not during the rains. But the county declares that it is a fully permitted easement and continues to give permits out on it. But that's just how it is. But it's not on my title summary map. They've never gone through me nor informed me of any of this. It's on my neighbors, the Campbells, who have a falsified map, and the county's been running off that, is my belief. I know it to be true. And currently,
is that what you're litigating?
yes, sir. And I'm trying to stay out of, I don't want to litigate anybody. I just want the ability, like I say, I want the ability not to lose my property. And I'm older. I'm a retired county worker. And I had to close down my horse facility because I can't keep expensive animals that can't get out. And I do have a land use permit up there. Everything's fully permitted. There's Unit A and Unit B. There's a barn that's fully permitted. I have nothing that is not to code. So my neighbors are very upset about it because what this means is for them, they have to break bread and make peace in order to be able to continue to get to their cell towers. I'm willing to. I've tried and tried, and I don't know what else to do but what I did. And I've told the county before I dropped the bridge in, it was fully finished. And like I say, I really overbuilt it because of the integrity of the land and the creek. I did not want to destroy it anymore. I never did. So without involving anybody else, I just want the right for the ability to enter my property.
Does anybody have any questions for Sue?
Sue,
Okay.
several years ago, you came before LOCAC about this bridge thing. I remember.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when that was?
It was in 2023.
Okay.
What happened was my neighbors put in 56, Douglas Campbell, 56 code violations, none of them which were found to be true. I sure hope you're still there. Are you?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all here.
Good. My phone just dinged funny and a different picture came up. And none of them were found to be true. Nobody notified me, but everybody and their brother went on my property, and it's a large property, and it's, a mile from the houses. And they just could find nothing. But then the county said in order to put the bridge in, I had to go through the county. But then when they answered all of Douglas Campbell's complaints, they said Fish and Wildlife was responsible. So my attorney contacted Fish and Wildlife. Fish and Wildlife said, yes, we are the ones to take this action. So we went through Fish and Wildlife, told the county of San Luis what we were doing because I didn't want to have all the problems that all the chaos that was created because the neighbors are completely opposed, even though they don't have any homes or anything near my house. I mean, the entrance, there's no structures. They just don't want me to have the ability to get on my property. Their goal all along has been to bankrupt me and get my property. And I even have, unfortunately, emails and texts because of this litigation that we have gotten that confirm my statement and prove it. I don't want to play dirty. So I've paid every single fee to the county that was asked of me. I've gone down and given them all the plans that were professionally done. I brought my surveyor who professionally did the drawing and the showing that no grading was done where the bridge was put down. It was totally flat on both sides. There was no trees. There was poison oak and some coyote brush and such, but it was only one spot that was available that could kind of go parallel and just out my entrance.
Yeah.
And so
So,
that's why
Sue, I don't want to drag this on too long. Anyway, my question back then was, and I think it came to if Fish and Wildlife approved it, that you weren't damaging the creek
they
or
did.
anything, that it would be okay. And
And
since you say you have that,
I do, sir.
I go ahead and put the bridge, or the bridge is there, but go ahead and, I would tell the county that there's no issue.
Well,
That-
and that's I
that we-
gave them the $10,000, and just because I'm just trying to be done with this. And like I say, I did talk to Cynthia Alms and said, look, if I can't get to my property, or if an emergency vehicle needs it, and I've already, like I said, twice allowed PG&E to go over it. I said, I don't want to get in trouble for this. And so she does have full knowledge, and she does have all the paperwork confirming, because it was done by Robert Reese with my attorney, with the head of Fish and Wildlife, their attorney. So it is completely finalized by them. They have no
Okay.
problem with it because,
You know,
and they even
what I want to say is, yeah, I stand with you. I don't know where
thank
other
you, sir.
land use members are. I know you've been trying to do this for a long time.
20 years.
Yeah, and I've driven there.
Thank
When you
you,
had the
sir.
horses there, I drove across the creek, and I said, gosh, what happens when it rains? Can't drive across it.
It's well, and it's a lot of things just really come down to money, and that's what this is really about. Towers have to be improved. We're going to go to 6G pretty soon, and then a lot of really heavy stuff has to go through. And I have a court order that says if the 3 permits damage the creek, then it's too much. And that's why we had to enter into litigation, which is the last thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, you
Because
would
every possibility.
I would think the cell tower folks would, want
I
be behind
believe,
you, be behind you on the bridge so they can get to the cell towers, rain or shine.
and I'd be more than happy to work something out with them. And I have made that clear. And I'm hoping in mediation that that will come. because the reality is that the bridge is not in the easement that was prescripted on, so they have no way to get to their tower. And so what they do is they take these D9 dozers, and again, we have all of the men talking and plotting when I'm not going to be there, and going down there and filling it in with silt. And fortunately now, Fish and Wildlife is aware of the subject, and we're hoping that the heavy equipment will stay out of the creek and we can let it repair itself, because it can, and it can be used when it's dry. And I'm willing to let the neighbors use my bridge if they would contribute to the cost of it. It's never been an issue of me trying to lock them out. It's been a difference. So, and I'm a female, and they've been there a lot longer than me, and I'm ready to retire and sell the property, but I have to do it legally and have it, permitted for the buyers.
Right.
I have 3 buyers that want it, but
Yeah.
I have to do it correctly.
So, I'm sorry, Sue. Larry, do you want to make a motion that we move this to the consent agenda at LOCAC?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we support the as-built bridge and put it on the consent agenda at LOCAC and move it
Okay.
through. It has our support. What
I really
the other
appreciate
issues you have with it are not our issues. We think what you're doing is good, and
I did it to save the environment.
yeah.
I want them to use my bridge. I don't want them to destroy the
Okay,
creek
well,
anymore.
so let's just finish this motion here. So,
I'll second it.
thanks, Molly. Okay, Jacob, you good with that? I'll
Thank
vote
you.
yes on it too. Okay,
I have no
so
problem, Sue.
Sue,
Thank you
Um,
all very much. I so appreciate your support.
No
so
problem.
Sue, it'll be on the, go ahead, Molly. Will you let Sue
No,
know
no,
when
go
we,
ahead.
good. Could you just tell Sue when we're gonna meet for LOCAC?
Yeah,
Mom
we're gonna,
called me about 15 minutes ago, and I just grabbed my phone and I couldn't get the video, but I just got out of the hospital. So to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad you can't see me.
well, so we'll put it on the consent agenda for our full LOCAC board meeting, which will be the 4th Thursday of January. Don't remember that date, but I can send you something in advance of that, the agenda.
Thank you so
So-
much.
Yeah,
I'll give
so
you
Sue,
notice.
just so you know, we're just a sub advisory group of LOCAC, and so we will make the recommendation to LOCAC that the body LOCAC committee
Approve it.
approve it. Yeah, and then it just becomes a recommendation back to planning, and they take information from all over, and they'll make the final decision, obviously.
Is this Jim Salio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you
How you
wish
doing, Sue?
How are you doing, Jim?
I'm well. I'm enjoying retirement very much.
I'm very glad to hear that. And I was very happy to hear that you made chief and all of that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
thank
really-
you. Take care.
It's
All
been a
right.
long road.
All right. Good luck to you, Sue.
Hey, good luck to all of you. And Molly, thank you so much for getting a hold of me before this meeting started.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, thank you.
You're all wonderful. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's so nice to be heard. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and then our next item, there's nobody here to present it, so Larry had a good suggestion that we could think, we can come up with any questions we want to give back to Mason Denning when they bring this project back, because it'll need to come back with somebody
After
from.
after the information holds are done and our questions are answered. So I'll send,
Exactly.
tomorrow, I will send Mason an email telling him what we need.
And does there anybody have any specific questions they want Mason to answer on this project?
Yeah, one question I have, are folks in Cabrillo Estates allowed to put septic systems, you know, on smaller pieces of property that are smaller than
Okay,
an
I'll
acre?
ask that.
On
Less
simple
than an
question, because
acre.
I remember approving some houses up in Cabrillo Estates, and they were on roughly an acre, in size.
Right.
And it, for me, that was okay. And go ahead and build it before the sewer's done, But
Yeah,
now the sewer's
that's an
done,
interesting question.
if
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
if that still stands, that Cabrillo Estates is out of this, and they can put in septic systems, I don't see why not. Agree or not agree with the Board of Supervisors of building 4% or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 homes over the year.
Mhm.
I think we're going to get our water issues resolved in the future. I'm not as concerned as some people are about running out of water, and building a few
Mhm.
homes here and there, it's okay.
Yeah.
If
Yeah, well,
they're, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I mean, we certainly can use the revenue.
Yeah, I don't even go for it as revenue, um, that's to me, that's neither here nor there. They have a right to, if they have a right to build, before the sewer was in, there was no right to build,
Right.
sewer came in, you have a right to build now. In the way it's written, my understanding is if the numbers of salt and with the other one, nitrate,
Nitrates.
start going the wrong way, they can stop building, or put
Yeah.
a stop to building.
Right. And no one can build unless the CSD um and
Golden State.
Golden State, if issue will serve letters too. So really they control, if they're concerned about the water, then they're the ones that are in control of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think because they're outside the official prohibition zone, probably the county is going to say, well, that's why they can put in a septic system. But they'll probably make them do, I assume they'll probably make them do the enhanced one based on that
Yeah.
land document.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they definitely,
Yeah.
if we're going to support the project, they definitely have to dot all the I's and cross all the T's,
Yeah.
and build the best septic system, there is.
And that will be evaluated after our approval. Then it goes to that young lady in county planning who's an environmental health specialist, and she administers the land.
Is Cabrillo planning to connect to the sewer? They did a study.
Yes, but it's probably, I mean, they're wanting to, but
They're
nothing's
wanting to, but
official
it's,
yet. But it'll be a ways out in terms of timing. It's possible.
My only very light question on this is why isn't it being designed with the assumption of connecting to the sewer? I guess.
Well, it is. It is.
I think that's what they're trying to do.
They're they want to put in a sewer lateral. The property owner wants to, and the county suggested that to them.
But maybe they won't
Yeah.
build until the till they're able to
Settle.
connect to the county sewer,
I-
you know,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I'm just
That would
thinking
save
That
them
might be
some
their
like,
money.
I don't know why you'd want to
Yeah.
double up on it, like do it
Well, they
once.
don't,
Yeah.
they obviously don't want to double up on it. Yeah, but they just, if they get their building permit in the near future, they'll end up putting in a septic system. But
Aren't those sewers really expensive?
yes, they
They're
are. They're
thinking-
over $100,000 apparently.
Yeah,
That's what people are saying anyway. But I imagine if Cabrillo does get the county to agree to doing the sewer up there, it'll probably take a number of years, I would imagine, with all the engineering studies and plans and going through all the process. It'll probably take a long
Right.
time. I would
Yeah.
think it'd be like probably a several year project. But anyway,
any
These are
other
complicated
questions that we
issues.
want to, any other questions we want to bring to Mason? I know that the other thing was, that this is really more of a technicality, is that their will serve letter from Golden State had expired because it was only good for a year, and so they have to get an extension on that.
Okay, I could
This
ask
is
Mason about that.
Yeah, it's one of the items on their hold letter, so
Oh, it is that they
The
have
county is
to.
already on top of
they
it.
have to
Okay.
get that extension. Yeah.
Yep.
The other thing that this is not really something to ask Mason, but this is the first project that I've seen since I've been on the land use committee that's actually has their certification for Title 19, that they have all their water credits.
Yeah, the property owner told me about that. Yeah. He bought bunch of industrial washing machine, not a bunch, he bought several for a laundromat, I guess, here in town.
Cool.
Low usage laundry
Yeah,
facilities.
Yeah, that's all hogwash, but he did have the certificate, so we have to accept it. Just
Well, they jumped through that hoop. Yeah.
personal opinion on it, you know.
Okay, anything else? Any other questions you guys have for that particular project?
So the other thing I didn't understand was, so this is interesting because the property owner who's submitted the project lives across the street or lives next door to the property that they're
Yeah,
building.
maybe he owned the property next door for, many years or something.
Yeah, but how come he couldn't be here?
He doesn't know how to use Zoom, but and his builder is Kreiser, and I just didn't give him enough notice, and they had just come
Okay.
back to work today from being gone for the holidays
For
and
the
stuff,
holidays.
so,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I was going to say, Chrysler's been on Zoom lots of times with what Sam
Yeah.
has, and so
Yeah. I think the Kreiser people are extremely busy right now too.
sure they are.
It's
Okay, all right. Well,
still, they want to build a house. They want to build a house, so they got to get their agents, to come
Yeah.
watch Zoom. Chrysler knows the rules.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
I still remember how stressed out I was when I was working, when there were like so many deadlines. Oh my gosh. I have empathy for these people working in construction. I mean, they work their tails off.
Oh yeah, but they
Yeah,
make money too,
Yeah.
That's their
But
job.
Larry's right. I mean, they got to jump through this hoop, and so we'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
here when they're ready for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they want to put off next month and go, 2 months,
That's right with
Yeah,
us.
it doesn't matter to us. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
No problem. No
Yeah.
problem with that.
They're obviously not in a hurry. When you got a 5-year
Yeah.
project, it's like, well, what's another
Right.
month?
Another month or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here every month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay. Is there anything else for the good of the order?
Yeah, I've got. I sent you an email, and I don't know if you got it or not. About the trees they cut down Montaña de Oro.
Oh, I'm not aware of the.
Are you talking about on the state park property?
No, before the state park property.
Okay.
The fire? You mean the Cabrillo Estates fire clearance stuff?
I'm not sure if that was it. I know it was a piece of property for sale, and it's come to LOCAC before, and it's just before the entrance on the downhill side. They cut a bunch of
On the
eucalyptus,
west side of the road,
if that's the downhill side.
the ocean side.
Yeah, the ocean
Yeah.
side.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this. Did you see some trees that were cut down there?
Yeah. And, and
What
I
was your,
think,
what was it? So what was the gist of it, Larry? So,
personally, I think our tree and landscape committee, one should have been aware of it, um,
Do you
And-
know, did you talk to any of them? Do you know if any of them were aware of it or if it ever came to
no,
them?
no, I didn't. No, I
No.
haven't. I was
Okay.
waiting for our meeting here just to,
yeah,
that
I
if,
mean, nothing comes to us to like trigger it for something for our agenda. So, and I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know
really
anything
don't
about
know
it.
much about the tree and landscape committee, what they do. So,
I think
Yeah,
Andrea and Jim, I think might be the point people on that.
yeah, but
Or, sorry, did I get the name wrong?
that's what we're here for, and I want to keep LOCAC on their toes, we're not just, a place to hang out and shoot the bull. That we care about our town and what's going on in it, and what's
Yeah.
building, and and county, if it's not in our jurisdiction, should still inform us of
I agree with you 100%, but we've had that conversation with Public Works and everything, and they're like, no, we're not going to.
like the Tesla charging stations they put in.
Yeah.
That nothing to LOCAC
Correct.
or anybody or.
It's
Oh,
not
that's
a
right.
It's not
Yeah,
a
we didn't have
residential
anything on
development.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because of the type of permit it is that we didn't get that one?
Yeah, is what they say,
Because it didn't require a conditional use permit to do it. So,
Yeah.
It's just, to keep them on their toes, that to
Well,
keep
you
everybody.
know,
I'm at least glad they brought that. Was it a gas station or something? Was a few months back?
A possible
oh, yeah,
future
whether
gas
Somebody brought
station.
that.
Yeah, but I never heard anything from the applicant after that, so I don't know what's happening with that.
I think they were just kind of testing the waters, and then Mason said, "Here's a good group to talk to," and
Yeah.
so Mason did a good job kind of steering them in our direction.
Yeah, but they never contacted me at all, so
No.
don't know what happened to them.
So
Anyway.
no, I hear you, Larry, and certainly, if you ever have a concern about anything, you're welcome to come to the LOCAC meeting and bring it up.
Yeah, well, yes, thank you. That I will do that. But yes, okay.
Yeah, I would ask Tree and Landscape too if they know. Because
Yeah,
they may know. We don't know. They may know.
Yeah, I think it might all be
They
on
may
the up
not.
and up.
They may be mad about it and they can go talk to their people at the county if they have, internal contacts or something like that and say, hey, we'd like to hear about things like this.
Yeah.
Again,
They're-
county doesn't really care, but we can still like shake the chain and make the noise and make noises and stuff.
Yeah.
So
because there is a permit for that property, and they did all the research, and they want to build a house there. And that's what I assume why they cut the trees down.
Is it a vacant parcel?
Yeah.
Oh, it was for sale,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and it's
And-
not for sale anymore.
Oh. Well, people are really worked up about fire safety and losing insurance and stuff too. So there's a lot of reasons people are cutting down
It cut
trees.
down a lot of eucalyptus in Los Osos because of concerns of safety concerns.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
there are a lot of people losing fire coverage.
Yeah.
I have no comment on Los Osos because I don't own my house. I'm a renter, but my mom has been dealing with that for a couple of years up in Sacramento, which is not she's not in a region that is in any way affected by fires. It doesn't matter at all. She's actually she intentionally purchased her house at a spot where fire, water, earthquake, you can't get away from. It's California, but everything else, basically she's good. And yeah, they pulled her fire coverage just because they did a mass cancellation of everyone in that whole business line for her who she used to buy insurance from. They canceled the whole thing. They just deleted the database and offloaded everybody. So
That's
Wow.
horrible.
they're like, we don't want to do it anymore. They gave her like 1 year of a bridge deal with another insurance company that like accepted everybody to take them off, but it's one of those, first year it goes up, second year it goes up a lot more. So it's one of those. So
Okay, all right.
All right,
So
thanks you guys.
if there isn't anything else, we will adjourn and we'll see you guys next month.
Happy New Year.
All right.
Happy New
Yeah,
Year.
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year.
Thank you. Bye-bye.